Greetings from the Figment Festival at Snug Harbor, beautiful Staten Island. I love New York. Let's check in and find out what is Figment Festival. It's so many different things to different people, but this is the person who is behind it all today. What is Figment Festival?
Oh, hello viewers. The Figment Festival is an interactive art event. It's an experiment. It was started in 2007 by people coming back from Burning Man. They found out there in the desert a beautiful transformational experience through art, and they thought, why can't we have that in New York? And instead of a week, let's make it a weekend, and since we're getting old and having kids, let's make it family friendly. So it's largely Burning Man based. We have 11 principles that guide all of our actions and decisions, and it's just I think the ultimate goal of it is for people to get together, to interact with each other, to explore themselves a little bit through these art projects, to explore different modes of self-expression, to find different expressions of themselves, and ultimately through that to respect the self-expression of other people.
And also there's always an open call for artists. Be art yourself when you show up, but also if you wanted to have an installation, I saw things on your website how people can present their art at Figment.
We use the term artist, but we consider every human to be creative. Everyone's an artist. So we do have a call for art. We don't judge art based on, I guess, traditional qualities of what is good art or what is bad art. We judge it on, is it interactive? How interactive is it? Or is it participatory? So some of our pieces interact with the wind or with sunlight, but most of our pieces interact with humans, so they're more participatory art. I don't know if I answered your question, actually.
Oh, it's an artful answer, and I take that as a full answer.
Well, every year there is a call for art. Typically we will post that on our website, nyc.figmentproject.org. Or if you just Google NYC Figment, New York Figment, you'll find us. But Figment is a global organization, and there are Figments in other cities.
Figments in Boston, Massachusetts. There's a New England one I saw.
Yeah.
Now, when we find Figment, we finding it in Staten Island, we found it in Governor's Island, it's been on Roosevelt Island. Is it always intended to move around, or did you find a new home here on Staten Island? I see we're back here this year.
We started on Governor's Island because, as I said, these people were coming back from Burning Man and saying, let's do something in New York. And at that time, Governor's Island was being turned over from the Navy or the Coast Guard to the city. And the city decided to create a public park, and no one was going because, tell someone, oh, take this mysterious boat to a strange spot, and they're like, because it's a park, and they're like, no, I've got a park here, I'm good. So it was designed to attract people to an underused park or an underappreciated park, natural space. And I think we did our work too well. Governor's Island is full now. So 2017 we started, 2007 was our first Figment on Governor's Island. 2018 was our last Figment on Governor's Island. And yeah, the island had just gotten too crowded, and they didn't need us anymore. So after that, Roosevelt Island invited us to have a Figment there, so we did that in 2019. And then in 2020, we pivoted and had a virtual Figment, which was definitely an experiment. And then in 2021, as we were coming out of COVID, so I'm the producer, I'm a volunteer, everyone's a volunteer, but we always need space to have meetings and coordinate and do outreach. So we took a membership at a group called Prime Produce. They have a space in Midtown in Hell's Kitchen. And they specialize in co-working for nonprofit leaders, but also artists who are interested in social justice or have that as a focus of their work. So it's just a really nice place, and they hosted Figment at a time when we needed to control who comes in, who goes out, how many people are getting together. and just being able to clean surfaces and just keep things a little bit contained. People questioned us. They said, it's 2021, why are you having Figment inside when you've never had it inside and it's safer to be outside? And we said, because we can't really control it enough to keep it safe. So being at Prime Produce was just a blessing. And then
another New York story in there.
New York story. Oh yes, you should definitely interview them. But the executive director always kind of had Snug Harbor in mind because it's such a beautiful space. I mean, it's got the nature that we found initially on Governor's Island. It's got the historic buildings, and what it also has is baked in museums and cultural organizations.
Which are participating this year. We see that they're open, and it actually says on the websites that they're participating in Figment, so that's wonderful. And the steps are DJ stages. It's just wonderful.
Yeah,
but before we finish, I know you're using different areas in Snug Harbor. Did things not work out last year in those locations, or are we moving all around Snug Harbor?
Well, once again, Figment is an experiment.
Uh-huh.
And we're experimenting with just a different spot. I think after seeing how Figment works, the people at Snug Harbor said, let's try it on the front lawn.
I love it.
They realized that the light and activity and energy of the festival would be very attractive to people driving by on Richmond Terrace. So we're just trying something new. It's not that it didn't work, but we're trying to understand Snug Harbor. And I don't know, ultimately, if we get enough people to come, we can take over the whole thing.
And it feels like a new Figment. Coming back to Snug Harbor, and I was here last year, I went exactly to where I thought the activity was. I'm like, oh, it's a new Figment. So I love that we're using different areas of Snug Harbor. It's been a pleasure. I'm gonna go enjoy the Figment of my imagination here in Snug Harbor till we meet again, celebrating Figment Festival on ever beautiful Staten Island. I love New York. Till next time, keep exploring.